Hi, welcome to the 53 chapters of Tanya. Kahos many years ago made a map of the Tanya, and we will be reading from that map as a guide and then delve a little deeper into each chapter of Tanya and end with a little meditation. The Berdichever Rebbe actually said, "What a wonderful wonder it is to fit such a big God into such a small book." So here goes. Before outlining the goals and methods in the service of God, Tanya first defines the spiritual makeup of the Jew in the context of good and evil in the world. This discussion begins with the analysis of a Talmudic passage describing the oath taken by the soul before its descent to the world. Chapter 1 discusses the two souls. The Jew has two souls. One, the animal soul, which derives from the neutral spiritual realm of Klipas Noga and is a blend of good and evil. You see, this animalistic drive within us is actually not an evil force. It just is actually very holy, but put inside a body and directed by the Yetzer Hara and the temptations of the body, it leans towards base animalistic tendencies, which we will get into as we further go along this journey. The godly soul actually is very holy, but doesn't come from such a holy source like the animal soul. It's limited, it's logical, it's rational, and it's here to capture the domain of the animal soul, harness it, and channel the power of the animal soul toward good. The Tanya actually starts with an oath that before the baby's coming into the world, it makes an oath that it's going to be a tzaddik and not a rasha. And the actual Hebrew terminology is masbia, which is coming from the word of being satiated. It swears, but the same root word is satiated, teaching us that we are satiated. We have enough full power to be able to really come down to this earth and not be an evil person and strive to be closer and closer to a tzaddik. You see, when we learn in Tanya, it teaches us that all we have to do is minimally meditate. Think about how it is to be a tzaddik. What is a tzaddik's life like? How he loves Hashem. And that will help us minimally not be evil and be closer and closer to a tzaddik. So the animal soul wants to use these four domains: fire, water, air, and earth in a not good way. And the godly soul wants us to use the fire, water, air, and earth in a good way. And there's this battle. Fire, water, air, and earth are in everything in nature, even in a stick. You know, if you burn the stick, you'll see all the steam coming out of it and all the smoke. That's because the water in the stick is being consumed, and so the steam evaporates. So too in our makeup, we have fire, water, air, and earth. So fire can be used for the good or not for the good. Just like in the world, you'll see fire can be destructive, but fire also can be the warmth of a campfire and the fire that we use for cooking. So too in our body. Each of these four elements can be used in a destructive way, God forbid, or in a positive way. So when we use them for the good, it's as if we're snatching it away from the domain of the animal soul to use it in the way that it wants to. So, for instance, fire is anger, boasting, and arrogance when not used in a way toward godliness. The positive way of doing these acts with these elements would be warmth, love of Hashem, passion, being driven, having a fiery drive to bring godliness in the world, having passion in every mitzvah that you do. Water has a tendency to make things grow. So water has to do with our pleasure principle within us, our pleasure-seeking personality. This is where addictions can come into place. Love of food, love of shopping, love of alcohol and worse things. Love of honor. But of course, when harnessed for the positive, it's love of Hashem, love of kindness, love of chesed, love of people, Avas Yisrael. The air could be, God forbid, used for boasting, lashon hara, and all kind of destructive behaviors, uncontrollable speaking. And of course, airs could be used for prayers and song and praise of Hashem.